So I'm gonna try to make this video a little quicker because I have so many weirdos out here just doing weird stuff. I wanted to talk about deaths. It is March 15th, 2026. It is Sunday. I'm gonna do this video again because I kept on digressing because that's what these people kind of force you to do. Um, let's see. They don't have it here. Cool. So basically, uh, yeah, when they see me, that's the problem. Basically, let's talk about deaths. March 9th, 2022, Yuta Maria was murdered at St. Mary's Hospital. 3 months later, June 27th, 2022, Melissa Calcioni and another man, but the man I think was not a part of it. I think he was in a blue truck. But Melissa Calcioni beat me over the head with a ratchet after I had my car accident, called the police, gave all her information so it would be directed to her, not to my dad, who didn't know that they were trying to attempt to kill me. And then I remember Julio Noriega kept calling Melissa over and over and over again to see how I was doing. So I'm not sure if he was a participant or not. Probably because they all seemed to be doing these weird the actual rituals and everything. So after they attempted that, they made a fake death certificate to bring to North Carolina Secretary of State so that they could siphon my trust fund and then send it to the HM Treasury in the UK so that Richard Irwin Harrington could have it. Now, around the same time, my older sister, Jessica Harrington, who was having illegal relations with my brother, Justin Harrington, decided that they were going to attempt the exact same thing. And in that attempt, they found out, oh, I don't even have an inheritance anymore. In fact, my father found that out when I had my accident because they did grand larceny real quick. Probably by the end of April, they already had all my money. So they were like, oh, we already have all her money. Before she can look at it and try to dispute it, kill her. So that by June, they tried to kill me. In 2022, I guess Kearney, my niece, stole my identity and decided to come to America. And they were using her as the new source of energy to human traffic. And then I guess Richard Disney, who I guess is supposed to be the person that I was supposed to be like divine counterpart, masculine, whatever thing with, he ended up going into the military, and killing was very easy for him. I remember that was one of the last conversations we had. He ended up marrying a woman and having a child, and I guess he was bi, and he had relations in this gay satanic cult with somebody who was impersonating the name Andrew Newton. The one impersonating the name was no other than another family member, Jack Harrington. Jack Harrington was using that name in order to. Too many people like to hang out. So Jack Harrington was using that name in order to hide his identity and do songs, which I thought were very beautiful. He has a very beautiful voice. Unfortunately, I guess because he wanted relations with Richard Disney, he decided that he would kill Richard Disney's wife and child. And I guess in return for doing that, Richard wanted to get rid of Kearney. I'm not sure if Kearney's still alive. I keep getting different readings. I understand that the people that are protecting me and defending me have my highest stability in thought. Why can I not? They have my highest, stability in mind because, yes, I am emotional when I care about people, and I do care about my family, even if they are mental whack jobs. So, and then I do recall that right now there's a lot of things going back and forth from past and present and future that they're kind of keeping me, everybody's keeping me intermingled with. So I'm assuming that something that I responded to a couple days ago was part of the past history dealing with Lucian and being taken to Germany for organ harvesting by Andrew Newton, the blue eyes with blonde hair, that's his actual identity. And he is part of the organ harvesting trafficking because he is also person affiliated with incest, because that's what incest does. It creates deformities in the body, and that's probably why it's a big thing in that country, because of the deformities that they continue to do in order to maintain the wealth. They have destroyed the Harrington line, because not just that, but another one that was using Andrew Newton's identity was Christian Harrington, who I used to play with in Neustadt, Germany, 1993 to 1996. I never really saw Christian and Christoph. I never saw Christoph, but I do remember he had curly black hair, brown hair. But Christian, he had like blondish, like dirty blonde. Um, did not expect him to look like he does now, but memories are different. Aside from that, the honey badger, the tarot card reader, the honey badger, that's him. I just looked at his face. So there's a lot of people around me that I really don't want around me. This is a big old game for everyone. It's nothing negative against honey badger. It's just the fact that they're so close kind of makes me really uncomfortable. To be honest, I freaking hate the city. I'm too close. Everybody's too close. The way I grew up was, a 2-street town called Neustadt. You really got to be a child, especially if you had siblings. And then even in Apple Valley, like, we were always away from main city stuff. It was just the residential, which I guess I thought was safer. My mother thought was safer, but that's also where the things are hidden a little bit more plain in sight. About deaths, so I believe that Kearney is dead. I believe that Lucian is dead. I don't want to believe that Alcide and Xavier are, because they're probably going through the same thing I'm going through, especially if they're my own children. They're still alive. Ezekiel is still alive, and that's because Juliana is also a good soul. She's still in intensive care. I'm very concerned for her. I pray for her every day. So look at the Harrington royal family, what we've done. Look at what you white royals have done. You've cursed us just because you didn't want African American ancestry. How stupid were you? You want to talk about how stupid you are? You oppress people. I do feel this way, partly. And it's not about supremacy at all, because I still feel people are equal. But you suppress a people for 400 years. You starve them of intelligence. You starve them of security. You starve them of food. You starve them of actual community. You rip their children apart from them. You emotionally, psychologically, physically torture and abuse them. And everything they do to be innovative, because you're using them for sexual desires, for intellectual property, for wealth. You think that after 400 years of doing this to a group of people, that they're not going to evolve to be better than you? Really ask yourselves that. Because at the end of the day, your young little boy is running around and playing around. That's cool. But your quote-unquote slave is out there getting their muscles ripped apart and brought back, getting disciplined, being disciplined to wake up at a certain time, go to bed at a certain time, do this, do that. Structure. Like the military. You created a superior race. Why do you think all around the world, Miss America, Miss whatever, they all ended up being African American descent? You created a superior race. And because Caucasians are so upset about this, you did it. Thank you. You did it. You know? So don't be upset about it because you orchestrated this. Thank you. So the sad part is that you want to intentionally limit that now because you see, blonde hair, blue eyes is recessive genes. They don't last long coming up against reproducing with black or brown hair and brown eyes. Now, do they? Probably because we're dominant. Okay, this guy is constantly going back and forth. This is another one. This is like my fifth asshole that keeps on following every fucking day. Get away from me, please. Thank you. Like, he literally walked away and then I walked around and then he turned back around. Bye. It's like I have to flip everybody off just to get the fuck away from me. It's ridiculous. They see me and they're like, oh, let's follow her. You know, when people do that, it really makes me want to just like turn around and stab them. You know, it reminds me of Bill Burr. Bill Burr talks about how he is a functioning sociopath. You have to be when you deal with a bunch of fake people who are getting paid to follow you and report back to somebody all day. You have to be a functioning sociopath. You know? But they're fleeting thoughts. They're always fleeting. I'm just saying, you know, we can have ugly thoughts. We're human. You know, you keep pushing people, they have those thoughts. Anyway, I'm gonna try to post this. This became way too long again, but I wanted to talk about that march. Well, in 2022, I think I know the ones who are dead. I did foresee other people, and as the court case comes closer for my actual court case, that you're not going to exclude me from, you will see how many of you need to get into the witness protection program because I'm not backing down.